It's been confirmed the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter won't be appearing at the Farnborough Air Show. That's despite the jets being cleared to fly following a fire in the US. The show was supposed to be the F-35's international debut after it missed last week's Royal International Air Tattoo at RAF Fairford. Toby Sadler reports.
It should have been the perfect shop window for the F-35. 2 international air shows in 2 weeks. Global media on hand to capture the world's most advanced jet in action. Instead, we've had this. A life-size model. First it was on display at the Royal International Air Tattoo at RAF Fairford, then at the Farnborough Air Show. There's been plenty of talk about the F-35's capabilities, but for potential buyers, seeing is believing. Lockheed Martin had hoped these events would drive sales and get already interested governments to sign on the dotted line. But the US government is playing down the impact of the no-show. Pentagon spokesman Rear Admiral Kirby said, "We fully expect to work our way through this problem and restore the aircraft to full operational capability in the near future. This by no means should signal any lack of commitment to the F-35 or its future in the US military or in the militaries of partner nations." All F-35s were grounded following an engine fire in Florida. They've now been cleared for limited flight. That means every 3 hours the engines are inspected and speeds have to remain subsonic. Both rule out a trip across the Atlantic. Frustration for the Ministry of Defence, but the new man in charge says it's just a bump in the road.
Well, we've got the budget under control now. We inherited a defence budget where there were huge programmes, but they weren't properly funded. And my predecessor, Philip Hammond, has done a huge job in getting that budget under control. And we're now investing for the future. The carrier, you saw the Queen naming the other day, new submarines, new surface
without any planes to go on it.
But the Joint Strike Fighter that's being developed, which we're investing in, has got to go through the various safety tests. There have been some issues with its engine, and I think everybody would rather those were sorted out before the plane flies. There's plenty of time yet before the planes are needed on the carrier, which won't be in service for another 4 or 5 years.
The exact cause of the engine fire remains unclear, although the US claims it appears to be a one-off event and not a systematic failure or design flaw. Toby Sadler, Forces News.